I'm gonna be honest, I thought Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater was just overhyped nonsense. Lengthy cutscenes, confusing stories, dated gameplay, but then I started Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater just one afternoon, guys, and I didn't stop until midnight, watching every single cutscene because they were simply absolutely incredible. And now I get it, now I understand why people call this series absolutely legendary. So, in this video, I'm breaking down my entire experience, what blew my mind, what caught me off guard, and why this 20-year-old story still hits harder than most modern games. So, let's get into it. Now, this wouldn't be a Metal Gear Solid review if I just didn't take a little moment and say that David Hayter's iconic Snake voice just still delivers that perfect balance between humor and being serious. And you know, his deep voice is just absolutely incredible. The voice acting quality holds up incredibly well even with today's standards. And like I said, with Hayter's performance, it adds so much weight to both serious moments and comedic moments. And I think for most people out there, the whole reason that they started playing the whole Snake franchise, the Metal Gear Solid franchise, is because of David Hayter's voice.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun.
Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Is that true or is that a freaking lie? I don't know, but it's one of the reasons I decided to check out the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Now, one thing that got me absolutely hooked into this game is the dialogue writing. It's just simply top tier. It definitely commits to those long, detailed conversations, but if you are invested and you can really, you know, put your attention to what is being said in the game, you're in for quite a surprise. Now, the lengthy cutscenes do actually enhance the storytelling rather than feeling like padding, like I said before. If you can really invest your time into this game, check all the cutscenes, listen to what the people have to say, or the characters have to say, then this game it just blows your mind. And then there's also the balance between serious military drama and quirky humor throughout. They really do a good job with making the game funny at times, but also, you know, tell a really serious military drama. Now, in terms of gameplay mechanics that I have noticed in the game that really surprised me is definitely the cure system. It shows incredible attention to detail. You actually have to treat specific injuries, and if you just use the wrong supplies that you have on the injury that you have, you're gonna lose that specific supplement or whatever you used. So you need to follow the tutorial that the game gives you at the beginning of the game, where it explains you how to treat certain injuries, because if you don't, then you're gonna lose supplies, and nobody wants to lose supplies, especially if you play on the higher difficulty in the game. And then there's also the animations, the way you shoot the guns, the way you take down the guards, how they fall to sleep if you use your MK22 with a silencer on it. If you don't, they will hear you. There's so much attention to detail in this game that I am really surprised that most modern games sometimes just even skip over it. It's just amazing to see that a game from 20 years ago still beats most modern games in terms of gameplay mechanics and depth. So I don't know what you guys think, but let me know down in the comments. I think this game still does an amazing job pulling so much attention to the detail, like how it would be in real life if you get dropped into enemy lines. Now, after you play through the prologue of the game, that opening sequence absolutely nails that James Bond spy thriller aesthetic. When I saw that, the music was perfect, the visuals were perfect. It almost felt like I was watching a James Bond movie or playing in a James Bond movie myself. They really did so much amazing work on this game that how would I say it? I love the Metal Gear Solid franchise, but I've never really got past the Phantom Pain and the beginning of Snake Eater 3, the first part, right? I've never ever got beyond that. And now that I've played the game on PC after so many years, I really felt kind of bad that I didn't play the game earlier. Now, the game also really captures that Cold War era espionage back in the day, and the whole thing just really adds to it. The way the cutscenes are directed, they just actually feel like I'm in a James Bond movie. And then there's also the cutscenes. They are so well directed, all the animations in them, the storytelling is perfect, the character progression is perfect. I don't know what else to tell you on this, but the cinematic progression in this game is just absolutely top tier. And well, this wouldn't be a Metal Gear Solid review if I didn't give a little time to talk about Ocelot, his introduction and his whole gunslinger personality, right? Even as a little kid, when I saw that guy, I was really obsessed by how cool it looked when he spit his revolvers all the time, right? And his character progression in the game is amazing as well. I mean, in the first couple of hours when you play the game, I noticed that Ocelot really hates Snake, right? But later in the game, I'm not gonna spoil too much. I'm just gonna say that Ocelot gets a lot of respect for Snake, and eventually they become pretty good friends, right? It doesn't really show it in the game itself, but later down in the franchise, I know that Ocelot is gonna become a good friend of him. But just to get back on point, Ocelot is just a character that I really like in the game. It's probably my favorite character just because of his personality and the way he spins his revolvers. Now, is Ocelot also your favorite? Let me know down in the comments, because who doesn't like Ocelot? I really like the guy. Now, there was also a part where I saved the game and you get a dialogue with Paramedic, right? And she starts talking about the James Bond franchise, right? She says like, hey, have you ever watched those James Bond movies? And then Snake is like, no, who watches that crap? It's not even realistic, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes like, yeah, don't let your boss hear it, like the major, right? Don't let him hear that you don't like James Bond, because he's gonna be not so happy about it. And then at some point, the major hears about it and he speaks to Snake about, yeah, maybe you should change your name to 00 Snake, right? I really like that playful acknowledgements in this whole game and its influences from James Bond. There's also a Godzilla dialogue that really, you know, it's just so freaking well done. I don't know what to say. And the moment that Snake actually shows his expertise about the 1911 when he gets the gun from Eva, one of the characters in the game, like he shows the barrel, how the gun looks, how the gun feels, you know. As a gun enthusiast, that makes me really freaking happy to see.
And not only that, nearly every part of this gun has been expertly crafted and customized.
And there's also different weapons you can find in the world if you explore, because exploration in this game actually rewards you. Like you can find an AK, you can find a machine gun, you can find a scorpion. There are so many different guns that you can find in the game as long as you explore and don't just go through the whole main story like a, what can I compare it with? Like a guy that's blind and just rushes through the whole freaking game. No, if you explore through the game, you can find some really cool guns that you can use throughout your gameplay session, you know, throughout the story and throughout the whole game. Now, the game also has really immersive details like electric fences, right? If you run into it with Snake, it just goes on the ground yelling like the way they portrayed it in the game is just absolutely funny and perfect. And there are also so many more things that put so much attention to detail in this game. Like you can camouflage yourself, hide in a bush. People or the soldiers will pass by you because they don't see you, only if they get really too close to you. There's so much attention to those immersive details that it just blew my mind. Now, in terms of technical and visual improvements, the game has 4K visuals, which I played it at as well. It looks simply amazing compared to the original. It's built on Unreal Engine 5 instead of the old Fox engine. There's dynamic cutscenes where you can zoom in and out of cutscenes, and the graphics just really enhance the general environment and also the character models. Now, like I said, I have played the first part of the original Snake Eater, and when I compared the two, I can say that this definitely tells more about what the game is trying to tell you. But then again, I am pretty stupid if I compare a game from 20 years old to Snake Eater Delta now, right? I cannot really compare it. It would be unfair. Now that this remake is doing really well on Steam and other gaming platforms, I think that they might actually make more Metal Gear Solid remakes. Maybe they're gonna remake Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, I don't think 5. 5 is pretty new still. It came out back in 2015. But now that this one is doing really well, it really tells the company, or at least tells me, I think it tells the company as well, that people are really interested in Metal Gear Solid remakes with new graphics, new ways to play it, new graphics, a better engine. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, but I think this could be huge for the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Now that brings me to my final verdict on the game. I'd say this game gets a solid 8.5 out of 10 for me. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater's remake is just really freaking good. I really enjoyed it. The graphics looked amazing, the attention to detail was very well done, and of course the story story. I've never played the full game before, and I was shocked on how good it actually is and how many plot twists the story in this game actually has as well. You'll be really intrigued and you're gonna be curious throughout the whole game how the story ends. So yeah, this 8.5 out of 10 seems really justified. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe because I am trying to get more subs on the channel, more regular viewers on the channel, and it would really help me out here. Let me know what you guys think about the video down in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks guys, and see you later.